here? Thank you. Are you Matt Pontes? Thank you. I see Mr. Morgan's not here today. It's okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please?
I have a document to read.
Okay.
I, Richard Gallardo, exercising the authority vested in me as a citizen of the United States, as a citizen of the state of California, and California Penal Code 837, do hereby arrest the following persons for multiple California Code violations committed through act or omission since March 24th, 2020. Get off your phone. Joe Chimente, Supervisor District 1. Leonard Modi, Supervisor District 2. Mary Ricker, Supervisor District 3. Steve Morgan, Supervisor District 4. We will catch up with him later. Les Baugh, Supervisor District 5. And Ruben Cruz, County Council. All of you must remain at this location until the citizens' arrest procedures are concluded with a peace officer. Although in practice our constitutional republic is all but eliminated, its principles are still valid and enforceable by the people. The separation of powers doctrine forbids the executive branch from making laws. Stop the timer, please. Doing so usurps the powers of the legislative branch. Any executive order issued by a governor that amends, creates, suspends all or parts of any state law is null and void. Similarly, any action by the legislative branch in lending or giving its powers to any other branch is also null and void. Per California Government Code 54950, the Brown Act. In enacting this chapter, the legislature finds and declares that the public commissions, boards, councils, and other public entities in the state exist to aid in the conduct of the people's business. It is the intent of the law that their actions be taken openly and that their deliberations be conducted openly. People of this state do not yield their sovereignty to the agencies which serve them. The people in delegating authority do not give their public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is not good for them to know. The people insist on remaining informed so that they may retain control over the instruments that they have created, unquote. I allege violations of the following California statutes since March 24th, 2020. Charge number 1, California Government Code 54957 Alpha. This chapter shall not be construed to prevent the legislative body of a local agency from holding closed sessions on a threat to public right of access to public services or public facilities. You have all deliberately participated in closed session meetings regarding a cold virus, using false and misleading pretenses and calling it a threat to public services or facilities.
Thank you, Mr. Gallardo. 3 minutes.
I am arresting you, ma'am, in Penal Code 837. There is no 3-minute mark. You are under arrest.
Time is up, Tree, and leave.
Sir, 3 minutes.
Okay, Officer Walker
Mr. Cruz?
and Mr. Gardner.
Could I
You guys are going to prevent me from completing my citizen's arrest? I hear the mic has been cut now.
May I inject a question, Mr. Cruz?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cruz, I think this is a serious matter.
I'm being
and,
escorted out. I'm being escorted out.
Can we hold on a second, please? I think this is a serious matter, and I would like to hear it. What do you say about what is transpiring here?
I haven't finished processing and detailing my charges, sir.
I'm trying to allow that.
Thank you very much.
If you could hold on a second, please. Mr. Cruz.
This is the opportunity for public comment concerning the board's agenda. Each speaker is allocated 3 minutes. The gentleman's had his 3 minutes. There's no requirement to continue to do it. That's at the discretion of the board chair, but to be consistent, each speaker is allocated 3 minutes.
And I'm ready for the next speaker, please.
And per the Brown Act, the chair may amend such rules at any time. It's in the Brown Act, Mr. Cruz, if I can cite that for you. So Chair Rickert, again, I reject that my time is up. Okay, I'm arresting you, and there's nothing in the law that says I have a time limit to arrest you.
I request that the 3 minutes are up.
3 minutes are up.
Well, big surprise, Mr.
3
Modi.
minutes are up. We are escorting you out now. Thank you.
Okay, I will be catching up with each and every one of you individually with a sheriff's deputy at another time.
Next speaker, please. we have another speaker?
You're all on notice. And you deputies ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Absolutely ashamed of yourself. Preventing a citizen from conducting a citizen's arrest.
Do we have,
I'm gonna need a deputy. I know where Mr. Morgan lives. I need a deputy today. I took the whole day off. I would like a deputy today to take me to Hill Boulevard up in Shasta Lake City so I can make the arrest at his house. I know where he lives.
So we'll go, if you guys want to take a report, we'll get them to sign the form.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
So Richard, what is happening?
The sheriff's going to allow the citizen's arrest to proceed. I will be given the citizen's arrest document to fill out and sign. That's my attestation of the charges. And also to be aware that, there may be some ramifications for doing a citizen's arrest. I'm well aware of that. And then I asked the sheriff, since Mr. Morgan's not here today, I asked the sheriff for a deputy to accompany me to Mr. Morgan's house up in Shasta Lake City. So, okay, I demand a witness to come with me, so it doesn't matter who. I want.
I'll come with you.
I need one civilian witness to come with me.
Please step this way.
Okay. I need one civilian witness. Do the front, you can go.
Yeah, right.
Sally, you and Vladislav stay with him. Sal, you and Vladislav stay with him.
and live stream the whole thing?
Okay.
Okay, or
Yeah.
recording or something. Do you need a charger or anything?
No, I've got a
You
charger
have
with
everything
me.
you need?
Do I what?
You have everything you need?
I think so.
Okay, Vladislav, will you stay as a witness? She's gonna stay as a journalist.
I'm sorry? When we do this in a room, you're not gonna be allowed to come. Simple as that.
They're not gonna allow me to have a witness.
So are you saying I'm not?
No, we're gonna take his report, but we don't.
Taking a
Okay.
report, and that's
Having-
it.
Okay,
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have,
We're
I'm
not
gonna
able
have
to
my
witness.
audio.
you'll have your,
Yeah, it's
they
business.
I'm gonna have audio going the whole time.
Personal
Okay,
matters,
thank you,
no
Rich.
reason to have anybody involved in it. You're not a party to it.
It's okay, Vlad. It's all right.
Okay, so I'm not
Okay.
going either?
Well, I'd at least go as far as you can.
Okay.
So are you going to arrest me if I proceed?
Oh, Vladislav, don't push
Don't do
it.
that, Vlad. Just-
I'm not going to delay obstruction. I would like So am I allowed to simply walk on public premises? But I can follow you, right?
No, stay back.
So are you prohibiting me from entering public premises, sir? No. Okay, well then I can follow, right? Well, I'm not for having fun. I think we're defending the Constitution is what we're doing, Sheriff. I think you know that.
Yep.
I think you know that.
Hi, how are you?
I,
All right, we'll get the forms for him to sign, and he can sign, and we'll take the report, and we'll go from there.
And how does, can you explain a little bit more about the process, how this works from here?
Yeah, so the report will be filed, and then it's up to the district attorney as to whether or not there's any validity to the charge that's being
Put forward.
referenced here by Mr. I'm not sure how to say his last name. Richard Gallardo, I think. So we'll write a report and we'll submit it to the DA.
Okay. Question for you. As far as federal charges, I'm assuming you only enforce state law, is that correct?
Right.
And how would we go about doing a citizen's arrest under federal charges? For
You have to go through the Attorney General's office, and
But pragmatically, as far as like someone coming
it's
in and
not-
announcing a citizen's arrest, what would be the next steps? I mean, would it?
so we do state law.
Okay.
Obviously, the sheriff's office is state law.
Okay.
So if he was citing government code sections, things of that nature, he would have to go through the Attorney General's office.
So would that be the U.S. Marshals, or who would be,
Yes.
who would be the law enforcement?
U.S. Marshal.
U.S. Marshal would be the law enforcement agency at that point. So would we need to call them out? Is that basically, would that be the process?
I would assume so. Having not made charges with the U.S. Marshals myself, I would assume that would be the process.
Well, I appreciate everything you did, Sheriff.
Yep, thank you.
Okay.
done here. We're done.
Were you recording while you were in there?
Yeah. Audio.
We are back here at the Shasta County Board of Supervisors with Richard Gallardo, who has just presented a citizen's arrest on the Board of Supervisors. He has gone into the room with the sheriff and his 2 deputies, and he has just come out, and we're catching up on what happened in there.
So we just did the preliminary paperwork for the citizen's arrest, the form, signatures, et cetera. It's now in these deputies' hands to process the paperwork for the arrestees that were here today. We're still missing Mr. Morgan. When I was downstairs in the breezeway, I told Mr. McGreeny, I said, number one, you're recused from this process because you attended the meetings in question, but I need a deputy to go with me to Mr. Morgan's house today so that I can arrest him. And the sheriff didn't say no, didn't say maybe, he didn't say stand by. I think he said, yeah. But the deputies are gonna go double check on that right now. So I took the entire day off just in case something like this happened. And so I hope I get to ride in a police car in a few minutes. In the front seat, by the way.
Richard, can you kind of just briefly say the Brown Act violations that you're accusing the board of doing?
Well, there's several violations. The closed session violation for the Brown Act is they're talking about a virus behind closed doors, okay? That is not a legitimate purpose for closed session, okay? They want to call it a threat to the public services, a virus. No. And they've been holding these for 6 months with no reportable action. So that should tell us a lot of things. They're talking about stuff behind closed doors that they're not taking any action on. At least if they are, they're supposed to report it by law. But every time they come out of closed session, they say no reportable actions. So what are they talking about for 6 months? And these started the same day as the ratification of the emergencies for the virus. So obviously they're using it to talk about the virus. No, they need to disclose all information that they discuss about a virus immediately in an open session so that the public is immediately informed of any virus information to take appropriate action. Absolutely not acceptable if they're doing it in closed session, and I believe that's what it is. And when I get the records and subpoena the records and we get disclosure, that's what's going to be found out, and then they will be guilty.
Now, was Karen Renstrom involved in these discussions at all, do you know?
She was in yes, she still is attending these very same meetings. There's another closed session today with the same gang, and Karen has attended every one of them. Absolutely.
All right, so we'll keep us informed in the loop. Let us know what happens today.
Very interesting today, wasn't it, folks?
It was.
How I got interrupted. We got interrupted from doing our duty to uphold our Constitution.
The visual of you getting escorted out and trying to do your duty.
It's gold. It's gold. So I finished talking with the deputies. The citizen's arrest has been filed formally. I have the report number with me. He said probably next week I can get a copy of the report, which I will. And then it goes to the DA. The deputy told me, per his supervisor, I don't know who that was, I do not physically need to arrest Morgan. I don't have to serve him personally. It's done. The paperwork I did today is the official service of the citizen arrest of Morgan, so I'm not going to be going to his house, although I'm now deprived of that joy. So it's done. It's done today. So report next week, and when the DA gets it and makes their choice, I'll find out. They'll obviously give me a call when they let me know which charges they will continue with or not continue with. So that could be a couple weeks. I don't know. The DA could sit on it forever. So,
has anybody in this country done this yet? Anybody?
Yes. Yes, about 5 years ago, I forgot which county it was. Some people are on video arresting their board members for some open meeting act violations.
Wasn't that in Utah?
And I think it was one other time. I think this
Illinois,
is
and that was a park board that was being arrested. Yeah.
And those are the ones we know about.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times has this happened that doesn't make the news?
Well,
Florida had a thing.
Peggy Hall went to Orange County saying that she has a list of 12, what were they?
Grievances or something like that.
12 arrests of people that were public officers in California. So
Orange County. In Orange County.
So that's all I have for those of you taking videos. That's the update. It's done. And then anything happens later, I'll obviously keep everybody apprised of what's going on. So.